Hello, internet fans, and welcome to another episode of the Buddies Forever live stream with your hosts, Rotten Roger DeMarco and...
Hey yo!
Here's
That's our Falcon Monster battle cry you'll be hearing tonight.
Oh, big evil. In the back room, and
Chuck fucking Tingle.
Chuck Tingle, Chuck Woolery, in the house. Let's see, we got Nerdcore, Track Bangers, Freddie Voorhees, Snarls Barkley, Miss Heather, Tony Zulian, High Ground Cantina, and I'm sure I missed some names in there. Groovy Movies in the house. Perfect, because we're moving into that cryptid territory. Not quite Canada. A little further away. But
No, this week we are strapping on our Razorbacks hat. I've got my Gone Squatchin' koozie brew, and we're headed to Fouke, Arkansas. Fuck, scratch that. No, never mind. We're going to Texarkana because apparently they're the same place, and we're going to be discussing the creature, aka
the Fouke Monster of Texarkana. Yeah, that's right. We're covering Boggy Creek 2. So we covered Boggy Creek 1 last year, or a little bit. It's been a while since we did We Want to Believe month or year or however many fucking We Want to Believes we did, but
I think a year is just our frame of reference for anything we did a while ago.
Right. It's been a hot minute, we'll say that, but we're back with another one of Charles B. Pierce's Bigfoot films. Didn't have a massive filmography, but two of his films dealt with Bigfoot. So here we go.
Two of his films dealt with Texarkana.
Yeah, no shit. So, hometown boy, he liked to film where he was from, I suppose. In your own backyard is always the best, right? So,
Sure. I mean, go with what you know, and this is what he knows. So, yeah, Charles B. Pierce had his crack at the Legend of Boggy Creek. I think maybe I can't remember how many years time between
5 years or so.
5 years between the first one, had people flood the city of Fouke, Arkansas, put it on the map more or less to their chagrin. And a few years later, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna take another stab at that after I've done The Town That Dreaded Sundown. Let's kind of, and this one he mixes two things. Like, we have still that faux documentary style,
Yeah.
but he decided, like, let's just shoot a fucking movie, and we'll introduce clips in between, like it's the documentary. So it's he kind of kicked off the mockumentary, and then there's this hybrid, which I've not seen anything done like this before since. So that's unique for that.
Yeah, it's very Burkittsville-esque. Like you put the town on the map for the wrong reasons. Now you got a bunch of fucking tourists roaming around and looking for
I don't know which
dirt.
But like the town folk of Maryland or Arkansas, I'm more hesitant with the Arkansas crew, just because.
Oh yeah, some deliverance shit going on, but
but I have family in Arkansas, and they always talk about it like, I can kill you down here. We got plenty of places to hide a body.
Yeah, that's some moonshiner shit right there, man. Like, you're gonna get put in a 50-gallon drum buried in a fucking forest somewhere. But during my research for this movie, it's important to let you and the audience know. Every week, I kind of pride myself on my ability to find what we call the tale of the tape, where I can tell you the budget and the gross of the film. Unfortunately, with this film, no amount of digging that I could do could come up with some sort of financial structure for this film. I had Remix look into it. I had you look into it. You had your wife look into it, who is notorious for being very good at digging up dirt. So all day, this was kind of milling around in my brain, and I'm just convinced that this isn't a mockumentary then. If there's no budget and, there's some information someone doesn't want us to know, that it's true. It's real. And our good buddy Charles Pierce got the definitive footage of these big feet monsters.
Next time someone says that skunk apes are real, I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
Well, you got about 2 hours of hearing us tell you that they're real.
Is it real, or is this just straight up a mystery?
I don't know, but I will tell you this. The first movie, which we covered last year, like we said, we did a very deep dive into that first film. And the first film, not for everybody. A lot of people.
Oh yeah, it's
it's
a unique brand of tea, and I'd love to get my hands on the remastered edition that's been put out.
Yeah, I as well, because mine was my DVD's from like Pomida, and it's like it looks like someone filmed a VHS tape and then somehow digitized it or whatever.
My DVD looks like some homeless man used it as a pillow for a number of years.
Yeah, it's rough. But when we were kids, we talked about this. When we were kids, we grew up, and you were just, because it was presented in such a documentary form, it was very easy for us to kind of fall for it hook, line, and sinker. Especially, I had an aunt who was like, yeah, that's real. That's a real Bigfoot. Bigfoot's real, and I just believed it because any adult who ever told me anything took it for face value. This film, however, like you said, it's sort of a mishmash. It's sort of it does this faux documentary thing, but then it's sort of structured around this actual film where Charles Pierce is playing a scientist.
He he totally tastes the golden spray style. He narrates, stars, directs. He is everything in this film. And yeah, he's a research scientist. Not a scientist feels weird to say, but he works for the Arkansas State College. The movie opens on a football game where he is at, which they're getting. Apparently, the college gets a phone call from the local PD that, hey, we got some squatching going on here in Texarkana.
Right.
You get your top man up here immediately. Not even willing to wait for the game to end or him to call back. Like, no, you go and find him in this sea of college football fanatics and tell him to get his ass moving right now.
Bring his super short shorts, his revolver.
And I was chatting super briefly with Miss Heather, who was watching this, I believe, today in preparation for the live stream. The first two things that stand out so much in this movie is there is some no shame cut off shorts in this film.
Oh, and yeah.
Some are nice, and at least one pair it's like, I don't know. And then just try to grasp that concept, that the headlines, that would really be the story today, of a college professor in cut-off jean shorts takes 3 college co-eds out into the woods several miles away in one camper.
Mm-hmm. To hunt Bigfoot, which is hilarious that he shows up to hunt Bigfoot in jean shorts, which fucking kills me. But
you guys started talking about cut off shorts, and YouTube started screaming, "Hey, this video is no longer suitable for advertising." So
we
keep
can't
doing that.
We're not allowed to talk about booty shorts. There are some bottom booty, some booty cheeks hanging out. But,
those are one thing, but Charles B. Pierce wearing his cut-off jean shorts is like, and I'm assuming this is in the spring, summertime, well, not quite summertime because school's still in session, but I'm gonna say around May.
Yeah, for sure.
May time frame. That's not really a time to be wearing shorts out in the fucking woods. These guys would be covered in ticks, spiders, Like they're in
whole nother movie.
The thick brush of Texarkana.
Matt O'Brien says it kind of sounds like a porn. It does kind of have a weird porno structure to it. We got Strange Monkey reviews in the house
never
too.
Goes there, and it's weird. We have one scene where Charles B. Pierce is straight up eyeballing one of the girls putting pants on, and he's totally like, as legit as you can be. Pierce the Driven Snow's like, I ain't looking at that shit. We got business to conduct that here. We got squatching to do.
Yeah, which, let me bring this up. Okay, so this movie came out in 1983, and one of my all-time favorite things, which Remix has not seen this movie. Remix doesn't necessarily watch a lot of these movies that we cover, but he is a tech guru. So some of the stuff, right, that they utilize in this movie, I don't believe existed in this time period.
I'm not sure if it exists today and how it would be calculated and measured, but somehow he brings... This has to be college equipment. This is not his own.
It's like a fucking Apple II. He brings like an Apple II.
Yeah, he's bringing a home computer. He brings this all in like pop-up tent. So this is all running off one, mid-sized gas generator. So off one gas generator off, I think it's like a 300-foot radius around camp. There is a measuring tool of
like
sorts.
They put up like 2 or 3 sensors.
Yeah, that can detect, depending on what he pops into the specs. Like, I can specify, I'm looking for something that's over 6 feet tall or over 100 pounds. And as soon as it breaches our perimeter, it'll pop up on the little screen here.
And we'll be able to track it. It looks kind of like Aliens with the tracker, but way, way more primitive. It's like just a big circle. Like a pie chart.
Looks like an Atari game, but I'm like, how the hell is that weight detecting anything?
Yeah, there should be no way, because it's just sensors that something would walk past. And he goes through this whole elaborate spiel of like, I'm going to set it to 100 pounds, because that way, like a squirrel or something won't set it off. But it's got to be something over 100 pounds, and then they can track it. And Bigfoot comes in their perimeter, and there's a super suspenseful sequence where they're watching this little dot on this green monitor go beep, 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 and they're like, you gotta get out of there! Like this whole... I'm like, that did not exist in 1983. No way, no how.
That still doesn't exist.
I was gonna say, is that even a thing today?
Hell no.
I mean, we got motion cameras and things like that.
But that's got a distance on it, not a 300-foot radius.
Right. It's not measuring, like, foot-pounds or whatever, but yeah, so it's not believable in that aspect, but god damn it, the big feet are real, because that's right, there are 2. There's a Papa Bigfoot and a baby Bigfoot.
All right, looks like I'm gonna go fucking kill myself. Jesus Christ.
Is it, you don't like, there's no way to pluralize Bigfoot, and this is Bigfoot?
It's the existence of Bigfoot.
Oh, the existence of Bigfoot in general.
We need to what we need to do is reach out, see if this fella is still alive. I'm going to butcher his name. Phoebus Griffin, who played the Bigfoot in this film, never acted in anything else. So he probably got his fill of being out in the middle of the fucking woods.
Oh, you wasn't really thrilled to be in a full gorilla-looking suit in Texarkana in not winter time?
Right? So he never...
Woods?
He never did anything else, but I've got there was a baby Bigfoot, and I've got the name of that actor somewhere, and he went on, so his name that did the baby Bigfoot, his name is Victor Williams, and he went on to be the most successful out of everybody who was involved in this movie. Went on to do a shitload of TV, like one episode of Law and Order, or one episode of whatever, like Chuck or whatever, like just episode. So I think he's still acting in TV stuff and doing voices for cartoons and things of that nature. But it's kind of funny how the little monster in this movie went on to be the most successful person in the cast and crew.
And when we say little monster, like it looks like 14-year-old kid.
Yeah, it
like
looks
small,
like
not too small.
Like Land of the Lost, the TV show. Like that's
a little bit, yeah.
Kind of what it looks like.
Terrifying though. I would like we have this very fictional story of the professor, Charles Pierce, his actual son, who never likes wearing a shirt no matter what, and these other two college girls, one who is a big, like, let's go investigate this thing. And we always have, you have a group of people, you have to always have one that's like, I don't want to do this.
I don't know about this, Wayne. Yeah.
Yeah, the entire time, the one girl is like, why don't we just go get a hotel room? Why are we out here? Like, why did you even agree to come? But
I love how he freaks out and he's like, now look, I never told you it was gonna be fun. Like he overacts so much at one point. When he's got the pistol, he just fucking screams at him. Like, yeah.
Gotta concentrate.
There's a lot of crazy shit in this movie too. Okay, so I gotta bring up the fact that there's a lull in the action, if you can imagine that, in this movie.
I would totally believe that's Pierce going like, we need a dog razzing scene.
You know exactly where I'm going. Yeah, there's a lull in the movie, and then all of a sudden, there is a rabies-infested dog who attacks.
Rabid dog that just runs up on them while they're checking out an abandoned house. And there's enough time for Tim, the shirtless boy, to go, rabid dog! And all four of these fuckers have enough time to run inside an abandoned house and close the door up.
They got like...
It's even worse watching it. I watched it on YouTube. Someone had uploaded on there, and it's a really good quality, minus the flashback sequences, but they did not sync up dog barking with shots of the dog at all.
Oh, no.
Like, there is dog barking, and that dog is just staring. Not looking menacing at all, but they pipe in that sound to make you think this is a rabid dog just ready to chomp ass.
It's so funny to me because they put, like, the two girls holding the door. You know, like one
holding a decayed door, yeah.
Yeah, like one girl couldn't hold this door from this dog. But then like Charles Pierce and his son are like slinking around, like, check out the window, you see anything out that window? Like, and they're trying, it's such a like try hard sequence to make this like tense, but it's not tense at all. Like, it was one of those things when I was watching it this week. I was like,
if the two of us were trying to do an action sequence with a dog, we have no training and we have no trained dog. Like, it's that level of quality work, but it charms. Even when they this is, I don't know what precedence this sets for us mentally, seeing us at a young age, but they off screen shoot the dog.
Yep.
But then you just cut back to the dog just hot, panting, laying on the floor with like ketchup around its head, like still like alive, breathing, but they're like, took care of that thing.
Yeah, got him. You know.
They had that, and I was counting to make sure, but the suspense build up to that is he has a 6-shooter, goes through all his shots, and he's like, all right, I got the kill shot lined up. It's him or me. Click, 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 and then
he just keeps clicking it. Yeah.
Yeah, Chuck Pierce Jr. comes to the rescue with the rifle blast to take the dog out. Like, whew. There's our mid-movie action scene.
And that's when the girls decide, maybe we should take this Jeep. We should fucking hightail it out of here.
That's even later on. Like, they hear more stories. They're at the campsite. The girls decide, and that thing could be out there staring at us right now. Let's take the Jeep and abandon the guys.
Yeah. Yeah, after they get back to the campsite. Yeah, I forgot that.
Yeah. Then they get their shit stuck in the mud, and they finally do see the Bigfoot while they're hightailing it. So they abandon the Jeep and run back to camp, which I like that the guys are just like, we'll just hang out here and wait for 4 hours.
Right.
Like,
nothing bad could possibly be happening.
Yeah, and then Charles Pierce finally said, I guess we're going to have to go find him. And
that's 15 miles. We ain't walking out of here.
Even if it was 3 miles in all directions, which way do you go? I mean,
I don't know.
I'm assuming there's maybe a couple different ways that are wide enough that you could get a Jeep through. But I mean, they're just out in the brush.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know where to go.
Yeah. Maybe I don't. We'll just blast the horn.
I mean, that's probably what I would be doing in the panic like state.
Yeah, Jerry.
Yeah. And they're not even, when they get freaked out by the Bigfoot and they take off and abandon the Jeep, they're not even running to get into the camper. They just mosey in at the last, like, covered in mud.
Charlie, they took the keys. Cyber Skull Media with a $10 super chat. Evil says, "Get wrecked." So I guess, you know, get a little tipsy with the sauce while we talk about Bigfoot. And while you're pouring up your shot, I was going to bring up a lot of people who worked on this film, if you could believe it or not, did not go on to do many things. So the cinematographer, that's another name I'm probably going to butcher. Chirac Kojayan.
Chirac
Kojayan. Well, this was their first and only director of photography job.
I quit.
Let's see why, because you fucking shooting everything so dark. You're not adjusting shit.
You're talking about people only working on this film. I looked up whomever played Bigfoot, and his net worth is between $4 and $20 million. So I think this movie did pretty good for him.
Yeah, what does he do now, since he doesn't have...
Nothing. He's completely unlisted anywhere.
But he has a bank.
Once you made Boggy Creek 2, you can just drop off the radar and just live your life comfortably, I guess.
Groovy wants to know what beer you're drinking, and also what liquor you have. I think you're drinking vodka still from Miss Heather, right?
Yeah, there's still vodka left over, and since I'm trying to slow down a little bit, and I need my squatching koozie here that's custom made for cans, we've switched over to a little bit of I picked up some bush.
Ew, gross, dude.
Stick in the bush. I don't know, it felt the most out in the woods like beer I could find on short notice.
I mean, it works. I wanted to bring up this other fella who did the effects for the movie, Bill Copler. And believe it or not, this is his only effects credit. So,
what effects did he do?
He made the Bigfoot costumes.
Okay.
You know, there's really nothing else. There are, like, it doesn't cross that Cannibal Holocaust level of dead animal, but you know that Charles B. Pierce, like, found a dead deer on the side of the road and was like,
"Oh no, it is.
We're gonna cut the fucking head off of this thing so we can use
that." There is in two scenes probably some of the more still ridiculous shit is they are on a highway and roll up on a dead deer on the side of the road, which I don't know, where at least where I'm at, it is no great feat to see a deer dead on the side of the road.
That's fucking common practice, dude.
Yeah, you can average one probably a week around here, but they roll up on it and they're like straight up like, you think the creature did this? So like,
what killed this dead mouse?
Yeah,
was it the Blair Witch?
How about God?
Like, probably a fucking truck.
No Rinko truck. Fucking
yeah, an Rinko truck did by. But the opening of this movie sets a real silly tone because we just have a deer crossing a river, and we just see bubbles, like kind of like Jaws, I guess, representing just with some ominous tone music just floating by, and we see some close-ups of a deer just thrashing about in the water, like just playing.
Can't swim.
Just struggling to swim, not getting attacked. And you smash cut to just, it looks like a deer stand head, like a plastic deer head just floating in the water, and that's supposed to set the tone of like what this thing can do.
Before these go away,
tears the head off and just drags a body back to shore to eat.
Epic Adventures with a $10 super chat, so you got to take another shot. And Groovy Movie with a $2 super chat said Bush and PBR are top-notch camping beer. Cannot disagree with that. That's what my dad would always drink when we went camping. But
if I had my druthers for picking some canned beer, I would totally, if I could have found it, I would have got some Old Milwaukee.
Oh boy,
which is borderline just water.
But I do want to kind of talk about that with the opening sequence, like you were saying, kind of sets the tone. Never in the history of ever of any Bigfoot movie that I've ever watched.
Never have I ever.
Have they prefaced that Bigfoot does any sort of aquatic killings? Yet in this film we have 2 or 3 sequences including one with an attempted murder of a homeboy on a jet ski. So, but they always do this where they show
really
like
that in more of an implied scene. Like we have like that opening scene, but I don't really think we have another one that's like that's clearly Bigfoot.
Okay,
like,
so just the two.
They straight up Jaws us. They're like that we think the Bigfoot's fucking around in the water, and it's a kid in a mask. So it's like somebody saw Jaws.
Yeah, but I mean, but they do the the whole thing with the bubbles knocking him off the jet ski, and
happens all the time.
Yeah, but I'm like, since when has Bigfoot, like, is he an Olympic swimmer or what? Like, cause he don't ever fucking come up for air or nothing. Like,
yeah, that's the three different things between this and the first movie. Is they mention it once in this one, but they say in the first one a very distinct foul odor. Nobody mentions the foul odor. Even Charles B. Pierce has one voiceover scene where like, no, but he didn't mention the foul odor normally accompanied with the creature. But yeah, in this movie we introduce that he is an incredible swimmer and an unbelievable runner, or an unbelievable runner and an incredible swimmer. And they say he's 400 pounds and 7 feet tall. I don't know if it's different for a woods creature, but seeing those size wrestlers, they don't move like that. I don't know. It's literally like you're putting, and then we have a visual image of Andre the Giant as a Bigfoot that we can bring up and show, but I don't picture Bigfoot Andre the Giant as a fast runner.
Not a chance in hell.
Yeah, it's gradual. It's very da-dum, 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 da-dum.
There's a discussion in the chat going on about remakes being terrible, and High Ground Cantina is dropping some knowledge on some good ones. I used to be in that camp. That was, I'll bring that up. Arms crossed, Roger. Didn't want any remakes, but now I'm at that age where the more the merrier. There are things that are sacred. I saw someone in the chat say Jaws should never be remade. True, we get plenty of shark movies, but there are films that benefit from remakes for sure. So I'm all for them. But yeah, I wanted to bring up a couple other people who worked on the film. The music was done by Frank and Lori McKelvey, husband and wife duo. And at least Frank went on to become a successful music editor for films, not a composer. He composed maybe enough stuff for 3 films, which I think were all Charles B. Pierce movies, but wasn't good enough to compose films for anyone else. So he would edit films, but very successful music editor, and I think still working to this day. So that's pretty cool.
Everyone's still alive. I know we talked about Cindy Butler, who was Leslie Ann Walker.
Leslie Ann Booty Shorts.
Yeah, had died at the age of 64. Still living in Texarkana. So for Cindy,
rest in peace.
And I believe in 2010, Charles B. Pierce had passed away. So for Charles,
rest in peace.
And speaking of rest in peace, my kind of death, you already brought it up, goes to the deer at the very beginning of the film. So that deer, may you rest in peace.
I'll go with the deer that's on the side of the road then.
That shit was the same deer too. They were just like fucking.
Oh yeah, they repurposed that shit, but even that deer that's just smashed by some truck on the side of the road is like, yep, let's just use this. Like, there's his head over here, Paul. Like, we'll throw it in the water. We'll film. That's our opener. Get underneath and splash around with it.
Like Toby Hooper did in Texas Chainsaw with that armadillo. Get on it.
Armadillo.
That's that high art, son.
So in the half of this movie is these 4 people trying to, I don't know, what would you can't say hunt, but find and research the creature, the Bigfoot. Look into it, investigate, right. I guess you could say. And then the other half is done in all these where Charles B. Pierce is channeling back to the first movie, and he's telling the 3 kids of flashback stories, which We talked off air about this. No matter what quality you get of this film, all the flashback sequences feel like you just woke up out of bed. You're in an Unsolved Mysteries flashback sequence. Everything is hazy and blurry, and you can't see anything too well.
Like they put a pair of pantyhose over the lens, which, it helps so you don't get a really clear look at the monster during all these stories. Because I suppose it works like in an artistic way. Like, these are stories, you're being told these stories, so it's kind of what your mind's eye would picture, and it's hard to get a picture of something you don't know about. So it kind of works, but boy, is it distracting.
I feel you're Spider-Man leaping to explain why.
I definitely was, motherfucker, for sure.
Like, that's what the three kids are envisioning when he's telling this story, which is, I can remember three stories, two of which are really kind of insignificant. Like, we have one dude that just sees one out by the barn.
Yeah.
Then we have the cop who gets home from on a fishing trip, gets attacked by a mini one around the neck.
Stealing his fish, yeah.
Steals his fish, runs to the big Bigfoot, and they take off with his fish. Apparently gave the dude like 7 stitches in the back, apparently, as far as the story goes.
He was damn strong, I tell you.
I mean, it looked like probably like a chimpanzee rip his face off. Then you have the lighthearted flashback story of a dude going to take a shit in an outhouse, and for unknown reasons, while he's looking at the Sears catalog of bras.
I bet I know the reason.
Apparently, he's legit shitting though.
Yeah.
But while he's shitting, a Bigfoot just busts into his fucking outhouse, and he somehow steps inside the pot, which is apparently not very deep. I've been to campgrounds; those things are like
wicked deep.
Fall in deep.
Yeah, sleepaway camp deep. Yeah.
Yeah, but he just gets like half his calf stuck in there and pulls it out, and his wife's hosing his fucking shitty leg off.
Which brings me to my Gwildor Award. Not the fella, but his wife, Myrtle Cole Potter. She gets my fucking Gwildor Award because she's such a standard stock like character of a bitchy wife. Got the hair in curlers. She's rude. Like, she's just everything you'd expect. She's a Texarkana lady. And
she's not really rude. She's just there. She's enjoying her day off. Dude rolling up like, I want my Sears catalog. And how that dude says, gotta take crap.
Yeah, I love that.
Horses and cows out there bothering me. Trying to take crap in here.
Good old Oscar had to go take a crap, man.
So, my Gwildor unfortunately went to Charles Pierce Jr.
Oh boy, shirtless boy.
Just because every time the dude had a shirt on, as soon as he got like to a stopping place, shirt came off, and I was like, why are you so insistent on being topless throughout this entire film?
It's very weird. Okay, so like, if you didn't know that they were father and son. Like, in real life, they're father and son, but they're playing teacher student essentially in this movie, and they're like in their little tent or whatever,
it's a pop-up waiting for not enough room for 4 people. You are stretching it with 2,
and they're waiting for the girls to come back, and he's laying on his bed with his fucking shirt off, and he's in those super short shorts. It's like a weird, awkward sequence. You're like, why are you so sweaty and shirtless? Like, it's strange. It's a very strange sequence.
It's super strange, but I mean, just a different time, I suppose, where it's just that was a thing. But yeah, it's straight up like, and he's not like ripped or built. He's like a scrawny ass kid. Like, but he's always, every time he's like, that's his comfort place, is just to not have a shirt on.
That boy's always eating.
And I really wanted to give my Alfredo to Charles Pierce Sr., but I think
there's only one choice for an Alfredo in this movie.
it's the man that I don't feel is acting even in the slightest, is Old Man Crenshaw.
Ditto. We got the same Alfredo, son. Looks like an 80s wrestler.
He does. He looks like he's part of the Moondogs or something. But looking straight up exactly how you would imagine. The only thing that's like that's unbelievable about the Crenshaw character is when they pull the 6-shooter on him and take the shotgun from him, that he's literally like Charles Pierce Sr. fucks off for a minute, and it's just him with the 2 girls and Junior, and he's like, "Come on, boy, give me that gun."
Yeah,
like,
give me that gun, you know.
Dude, he could run through Junior. Like, he looks like he could, like Fatal Beauty, take 5 or 6 rifle blasts and keep coming at you.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that he doesn't overpower all of them in that moment is just mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, just fucking body slamming them. And this is where the movie gets different, okay? But it takes a very, very long time for us to get to Old Man Crenshaw. They bring him up numerous times throughout the film. Like, yeah, I would go see Old Man Crenshaw because he knows something. He can tell you about Bigfoot. He can tell you about Bigfoot.
Yeah, could we get conflicting stories? Like, we go to a convenience store, again, fucking Junior shirtless, walking through a convenience store. Maybe he was the reason they came up with the shirt shoes service sign.
Mm-hmm.
But they're in this convenience store and they're like, there ain't no creature out there. They're just razzing these guys, giving them shit. And then other folks are like, yeah, you need to go see Crenshaw. Oh, he's about 2 miles downriver.
Talk to old Crenshaw. Hey, we got a new face in the chat. Euler Greg, who I don't know, but thank you for coming. Says, I far prefer Creature from Black Lake with Jack Elam for a low-budget Bigfoot film from this period. I've never seen that movie. That sounds like something we...
Now.
Yeah, if you're preferring it over these 2 films, and Evil and I kind of put these on high regard, I definitely would like to check that out. I will put that in my wish list as soon as I'm done with this live stream, for sure.
Is Serbian film that bad? Well, it is a $500 Patreon tier.
Evil will not watch it because he does not want his soul to be soiled.
No, if it is,
unless he gets that $500 forcing him to do it.
Yeah, because I've seen it.
Which most if not all of what we make is going towards film production stuff, but should anyone dare cross that line, I'm gonna selfishly take all $500 to erase that from my mind's eye.
For sure. And it's not that it's not that it's so goddamn hardcore and we're Dickens shits. It's just I've seen it, so and Evil knows all about it. His wife has seen it and stuff like that, but it's one of those movies that we don't go out of our way to watch. And since he's never seen it, and I told him it's worse than your Cannibal Holocaust, your Cannibal Ferox, and things like that. He's just kind of like, yeah, no, if I have to watch that, I'm gonna get paid. So I totally agree with that for sure. Because I ain't never watching it again unless I have to.
We're all whores. We just gotta set our price, and that's my price for that. Outside of that, you kind of have a variety of things you can. So for my birthday next year, I should get that tier. Miss Heather, don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't.
Hey, let me whisper in your
ear for being in the inner circle either. Like, if you're gonna be trying to get that $500 tier thing, you're gonna have to pay all 500 of it.
Whoa, that's my right ear now.
Mm-hmm. Moving around.
Straight up,
all
gonna
over
be
the room.
Monster calling if I have to watch that. I'm like, oh, we got the nod. You're gonna have to watch the movie.
Well, so speaking of Charles B. Pierce, brainchild of the Boggy Creek franchise, I did in my research discover that Charles B. Pierce considers this to be his worst film. And
is it because he starred, narrated, and directed it?
I would assume, that'll.
And the fact that he doesn't look older than Crenshaw at all, but he keeps referring to Crenshaw as old man. Like, you look the same age. If anything, you've got more gray hair than he does.
Yeah. So he is not necessarily a big fan of this movie, and I think you hit the nail right on the head because, he may have bitten off more than he could chew with this film, with writing it, directing it, starring in it, most likely fucking editing it, You know, being in charge of distribution and all of these things, which I'm pretty sure you told me you did a little bit of research and you learned a little bit about his money earnings or distribution methods.
That he tried to get this movie like distributed, and he got literally laughed out of different production companies and stuff, like just laughing like, this is stupid, we're never doing this. So he apparently went into business for himself and rented out theaters and put it on himself and made $20 million. I don't know if that's then money or now money. Either way, that's a lot of money that no one else got to have their fingers on. So talk about a self-made guy. And I've heard that he was supposed to be, like some of those profits were supposed to be kind of shared around with either the city of Folk or some of the other people. But once, money started really rolling in, he's like, well, ain't no contracts here. I'm going to go ahead and keep all this. I got to make Boggy Creek too.
Yeah. I'm going to flip that money and make a new movie, and it's going to blow up too, which, sadly, even though I, couldn't find official gross and budget for this movie, I don't imagine, from everything that I've read online, and took a gander at, it didn't seem like this film made the impact that he thought it was going to. Because by the time he made this film, he kind of broke the mold with the first Legend of Boggy Creek, but then he waited X amount of years to make this sequel. And
I feel that this is going back to the well and trying to, it worked 5 years ago really well. Like, let's go ahead, let's up the ante and make it half of a movie and half of a story. We'll really go hog wild on this.
Yeah, but the problem is, in that layoff, multiple Bigfoot films came out. And, did it better, or just, or maybe it was just that people were getting burnt out on Bigfoot films. That happens. It's the same thing with zombies. Like, when zombies hit big, everybody and their fucking mother made a zombie movie, and then a while... Yeah,
there's a sweet spot. He just happened to hit that sweet spot of the first one, and then, just try to get another bite at the apple. And like, oh, well, it didn't work. But, and maybe part of that maybe is due to the design, because we have kind of like a very far away shots of what Bigfoot could look like in the first movie. In this one, he is a fully almost fleshed out character we see a lot of and hear a lot of. So, and we get to like close up on the eyes, and we have a mini Bigfoot, and that's there's our arcing story, is that Crenshaw has captured Babyfoot and is keeping him in a back room, and Charles B. Pierce has to rescue this Babyfoot and literally offer it to Bigfoot.
It's just going to stay funny when you keep saying Babyfoot.
Offer it to the Bigfoot and go, that's what you want. That's why you've been razzing all these camps, haven't you? You want them here. I know you can't understand me. I know you can't understand me.
And that's really the payoff of the film is, and that's what I was saying, is the movie takes a very long time for us to get to Crenshaw. And when we get to Crenshaw, it feels like the stuff with Crenshaw and which essentially very quickly snowballs into the final act. There's not a lot of setup or payoff.
No, you don't even know where things are going. It just all of a sudden, like, there's a storm, boom, and like it's really like and then like you have a fourth of a movie left.
Yeah, it speeds through that. And what I was saying is, I believe that if Charles Pierce would have restructured this film and made it about, you get rid of a lot of the camping stuff, and you get them coming to the town and them asking around, and then people telling them, you gotta go talk to Crenshaw. And the majority of the film being them being like, we're going to interview Crenshaw.
Because they're there for a full day.
Yeah.
Technically at this guy's shack house.
So you keep the movie there, and then you get to spend more time, because you also find out very quickly it's kind of tossed at you and then discovered. He got to tend to my fires. He wants to light all these fires, and then real quick we figure out, oh, you're doing that because Bigfoot's afraid of fire. So you always light fires every night around the perimeter of your property.
Which is a whole new aspect they've never introduced before, that I'm like, where did that come from? And he's like, making all these fires. He's afraid of fire. Like,
Yeah, that's some
when do we establish that?
Jason's afraid of water type shit,
Yeah, Bigfoot afraid of fire.
It just happens. And
fire.
we literally could have spent an hour and a half at Crenshaw's house. That's just because in my brain, I always, I'm such a big fan of the we're in here, they're out there type of movie, us versus them, that this movie could have totally benefited from that structure. And then, midpoint in the movie, Charles Pierce and his cronies discovering that Crenshaw has a baby Bigfoot. Like, that's how it should have been structured, and it would have been a much better movie. I feel like there is a really good movie in the ending of this movie, but it takes a long time to get there.
But if we did that, we'd be cutting out all the flashback stories, more or less. To do that, we'd be telling a pretty much all fictitious story.
Right.
But the Bigfoot design is I don't know how you would rank it as far as Bigfoot designs go. We have a lot of close-ups of eyes. The mouth doesn't seem to move. Looks like it's a dude in a big black hair suit.
Yeah.
But I mean, it kind of fits with a lot of photography that we get of Bigfoots that are supposed real Bigfoots out there.
Yeah. We got some real Bigfoot imagery. These are not from the film.
This is one we discussed last year, and we all came to the consensus that this is fake.
Maybe.
Right.
It's been a year. I've had time to think.
Okay, then to throw that question at Remix. I'll just structure it this way. Do you believe there is Do you believe that there are wild men living in the woods that end up looking kind of like this, but they're human? You don't think there's wild men out there?
No.
You never been where moonshine country?
If anything, it would be a fucking grizzly bear that people are like, look at the grizzly bear standing on his 2 legs, goddammit.
If the Bigfoot was real, then would you consider it interspecies erotica should you become intimate with said Bigfoot?
Why would I not become intimate with it?
But would you consider it as same as human or animal?
No, it's super animal.
Super animal? Is it a power bottom or a power top?
You can't say that.
Let me bring this up.
I just did.
Earlier in the day, Snarls Barkley was messaging me. I'm going to have him bring it up in the chat because I don't want to get the details wrong. But we were talking about Bigfoot because he asked what movie we were covering, and I told him what we were covering. And he has an eyewitness account.
Oh, shit.
That he is almost 100% positive that he saw a Bigfoot. And I don't want to get the details wrong, so I'll let him bring it up in the chat. But it was such a quick encounter that he didn't have time to, confirm nor deny. But he's pretty sure. And you know where Evil and I stand with this is, to me, it's not unheard of that there is a large bipedal fucking ape out there. That's not that hard to believe.
Let's see some of these other Bigfoot images here, and we'll further. Looks like a mop with legs.
It's just a black mass, man.
Is it
I
a
don't
big?
know.
This, I think you could totally say could be a Blair Witch too, like that the Blair Witch or a Bigfoot. I don't know.
That's Coffin Rock right there. No. I kicked that fucking Bigfoot right into the creek. It was useless.
I wonder when this was taken too. Like, this is a pretty decent looking shot. Like, is this someone just cruising by on the lake and was like, look at that shit?
All right, there it is. So he said, driving south from Washington to Oregon on 15 in the forest woods off to the roadside was a large animal upright. But he said when he was talking to me earlier, he said it was far too skinny.
He said much thinner than a bear.
Yeah, way thinner than a bear.
Because when in Seattle, where I happen to get my Gone Squatching koozie, it is straight up Bigfoot country, and they are all for like side road attraction promoting like Bigfoot merchandise there. So, and seeing some of the wooded areas up there, like, oh yeah, I could believe if it exists anywhere. I feel like up in the PNW.
video store review said, I'm pretty sure I saw a Bigfoot once. Either that or I was just sitting really close to my dog. You never know, man. But Evil and I are definitely in the camp of...
It's real.
It's real. There's so much... He's got a giant map of the fucking world. Remix is over here looking at the world. Like, there is so much forestry that we have not explored that it's, to me, completely plausible that something...
Or unexplorable. Like, it's just, it doesn't warrant us...
the terrain is...
us surviving, getting there, and getting out of there. And
yeah,
like...
100%.
I totally defaulted, like, we have people going missing all the time that we still have never been able to find. Like, I can totally believe if we've never found some specific people that an entire country is more or less looking for, that's why we've never found Bigfoot parts. Or that the theory that they just know when one is near or dead, they straight up bury it to hide it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All
Yeah, I've got
interesting theories.
Map up of purported sightings of Bigfoot, and I've been looking around seeing where the density was, but I wasn't going to bring that map up until the second hour.
That's fine. Well, you just hang on to it, and we'll bring it up. We'll just keep going through these photos. This is the one that we're like, it's unsavable.
You could get any night shot of the woods and just put a red circle around it, and you're like, Bigfoot right there. Like,
yeah, look in there. What's in there?
Exactly. Like, if you took that red circle out of that, it'd be no different. Is this like the Beatles album cover with Bigfoot?
Pretty much.
Is Abbey Road?
Is he barefoot? Is he Paul McCartney? He's dead.
That looks like a dude in just like a slicker suit.
This is I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, this is somebody just caught a shot of a hunter actually going through the woods in the middle of the night.
Hunters wear orange.
Yeah, that's for
Not
other
if you're hunting the Squatch.
Yeah.
Cyber Skull Media said, fun fact, Andre the Giant was part Bigfoot. We do have a photo of Andre the Giant as Bigfoot somewhere.
Yeah, it's in there.
So we will get to it.
Yeah. That, I think, is super plausible looking Bigfoot. As far as height, size, everything, I feel like if Bigfoot's out there, he looks probably like that. More human than ape is what the consensus is. So I feel like if Bigfoot's out there, this is probably the best representation of what I think he looks like.
Listen, Wolf Boy or whatever, that was a real thing. That kid that fucking grew hair all over himself, and he was just an average sized person, like a 5'9" person. You telling me that someone couldn't have that disease where they fucking grow hair all over them, but they're actually big motherfuckers?
Just combine that with just people getting lost and just living like wild men out in the woods. There's reports of dudes that are straight up living Burt Reynolds, without a paddle style out in the woods that would look like this and are crazy, just outdoor woodsy guys. So.
It looks like a lot like my fucking father-in-law. A lot of shoulder hair, back hair, and shit.
I would love a mannequin replica of this and just put it out in my fucking yard.
Just in between those trees in your backyard.
Yeah.
So someone driving by be like, what the fuck?
And this does not convey a strong swimmer or an incredible runner to me.
Absolutely not. This
would be terrifying if I were to see Andre the Giant running at full speed.
He could throw a fucking deer like a shot put, though, real fucking far.
I do feel like he'd rip the deer's head off, though.
Oh, yeah. We got Cam Facer in the house, too. So, what's up, man? We got a lot of the standard hoodlums, W. Stein 79s in the house. And we got a solid group of people here tonight listening to us ramble on about Bigfoot. So, I'm all about it.
People love the cryptids.
Damn right. So do we. So, we got other pictures or no? That's the last one. Okay.
That's a good one to hit on, though, as far as images caught of the Bigfoot. You got any images of Bigfoot out there you got stashed in your collection?
I do not, but we're going to bring up the Patterson Gimlin footage again in that second hour. But we got this last 5 minutes before our commercial break. So I don't know if there was anything else you wanted to bring up about this movie that you...
Well, we talked about remakes and stuff. Would you... I think that there's been has been a remake or a semi-remake.
There was a movie that came out in between Legend of Boggy Creek and Boggy Creek 2 that was just called Return to Boggy Creek, I think, that Charles B. Pierce had nothing to do with. I don't know if it sucks or not.
I discovered today, not enough time to watch it before we went on live, but I did find a documentary apparently about Charles B. Pierce called "The Man from Boggy Creek" that you said what's it on?
It's on Vimeo, and it's like it's a less than half-hour documentary. You just have to sign up for Vimeo. Yeah, I don't imagine his career is spans a 3.5-hour documentary.
I mean, give him 90 minutes.
At least, for sure.
Rummage a whole career that includes these 2 movies in less than 30 minutes? Like, that's not enough time.
Well, we're going to add 2 hours to his documentary tonight, so.
More worth it. Would you be interested in remaking this today? And do you think it would be as successful or more today if we had a new Legend of Boggy Creek? Or do you think it'd fall by, like, The Town That Dreaded Sundown? Like, decent, but pretty not even like a blip on the social media radar.
Listen, the people who like that Town That Dreaded Sundown reboot, it's not even really a remake because it, the movie exists. Yeah, the new one. They're right, because that shit's fire, but not a lot of people found out about it. It was kind of a sleeper. This movie could totally benefit. It's 2022. We've got motion cameras. We've got all kinds of crazy technology that we could put to use. Sorry. And I just think that it would totally work. More high definition bad footage. You know what I mean? Caught on film. It's high definition and still blurry.
Would you try more like how the first movie's constructed with just tails? Or would you want to try to do like how this movie is, like just go maybe with maybe 2 backstories, but really essentially more or less redo this movie, but updated to today's tech standards, but still have an old school, practical effects element as far as like how the Bigfoot looks. And when we get to a Crenshaw area, like where technology fails and nature takes its course.
Here's how you do it. You do it like the VHS movies, right? So you do it with a wraparound story of these people who are investigating Bigfoot.
Oh.
And then they go to people who have supposedly have footage of Bigfoot. And so then you get these little mini anthology, shot on video, handheld stories that you let multiple directors do. Each story is a different director crafting their own Bigfoot story. I think that could totally work, and that'd be a super solid way to bring back the Boggy Creek, because then you could let guys, indie people, or you bring in super good people, you bring in like Ty West and Larry Fessenden and those guys to make little short Bigfoot things. I think that would totally work.
I think you'd be onto something there. Who do you cast then in the Bigfoot suit?
You can't do Kevin. You can't do fucking Kevin Peter Hall.
No.
Kevin Nash, man.
Oh my gosh, he's too old. He would tear his quadriceps putting the suit on. Nah. I would get that dude that used to be Braun Strowman. Maybe he's shaved and now he just put a monkey suit on him and
Bray Wyatt. Get Bray Wyatt.
Too short.
Bray's not doing anything. They cut him.
So. He is talking about going into doing horror films, so I guess that could be. Man, what a mashup you do with that. You have dudes going out hunting for Bigfoot and they come across the witchcraft cult.
Yes.
That worship the Bigfoot. Give them
I'm down.
A weird name.
I'm down for whatever, but I think that a found footage approach is the way to do it. Like, just look at Exists. Did you ever see that movie?
I did not.
The Blair Witch guys made it, and it's a Bigfoot movie, and it's phenomenal. Same thing with Bobcat Goldthwait's Willow Creek.
I have seen that.
Phenomenal.
Weird.
That whole found footage approach is how you do it, and you keep it scary, because then we're only getting very limited glimpses of the creature. So if you don't have a massive budget, you can still get away with a dude in a gorilla suit, 60 feet away between trees. Like,
Yeah.
It works. As long as your sound design is good, you're good. Cyber Skull says the mountain. Yeah, that guy's too. I don't know if that guy can move fast enough.
Talking about Hafthor Bjornsson? He's a professional boxer right now.
Kinda.
What do you mean, kinda? Didn't he kick that guy's ass?
I don't know. Big slow dummy.
Big thick bread. No, he won.
Oh, did he? I don't know.
Yeah, he fucking outplayed him.
I don't know. I didn't watch because boxing is bitch made lately. So
Not when you're the strongest men on earth.
that's true. But it is 9 o'clock, so we're gonna take a quick commercial break and then we'll come back. But before we go, if you have any Boggy Creek memorabilia, Bigfoot memorabilia, snap a picture of that shit, put it on Instagram with I rented this at hashtag 3bvideo or I stole this from hashtag 3bvideo, and we'll pull up Instagram at the end of the show and we'll take a look at all of your Bigfoot memorabilia and give you guys a shout out. But we'll be right back. Blam! Hello, internet fans.
Whoa.
This is our commercial break. But just because it's a commercial break doesn't mean we can't interact and we can't have some fun. So here's what we're gonna do, guys. I want you to grab the weirdest movie you have from your collection, snap a selfie, and put that motherfucker on Instagram with the caption, I rented this at hashtag 3bvideo. And then towards the end of the stream, we'll pull up Instagram and we'll take a look at everybody's selfies. So the weirder the movie, the better. And this is gonna be a thing that we start doing every week just to involve you guys, to have some fun. You got a copy of Redneck Zombies, you got a copy of Cobra, whatever it is that you feel like showing off this week from your collection, bam, I rented this from hashtag 3bvideo. Just another way for us to have some fun with you guys and include you in the show just a little bit more. So go grab a drink, go take a piss, come back, snap a selfie, put that fucker on Instagram, and we'll take a look. You got about an hour before we dive into it. Show us your weirdest flick this week. Show us your newest acquisition. Show us something that you've picked up that you're super proud of, because we're just as proud of your collection as we are of ours. So show it off and let everybody see that you've got the ill shit too, and you're learning from 3bvideo. All right, I'm gonna go back so we can do the rest of the live stream. All right, guys, I'll see you later. I'm not gonna walk. I'm just gonna. Yeah.
This chap who lends it to me, he said, oh, it's like a snuff film. And I thought, well, is this a snuff film? Because I didn't know. It looked so real. There was something grainy and gritty. I thought it was real.
I can remember going up into my bedroom and shutting the bedroom door and turning the lights down and putting this movie on and not knowing exactly what I was getting myself into.
Because a lot of them are meant to be like party tapes, like you watch them with your buddies with a beer, especially back in the 90s, because it was really the only way to see that kind of stuff.
If you have never thought about death, it's time you started thinking.
To be honest, the things that were happening on screen had absolutely no correlation to what I knew about the world as a youngster.
Yeah. I think I jerked off to it.
It's a one-time sort of watch for me.
It was definitely an extreme experience.
Do you wanna be in my game, my game, my game?
Yes. Do you want to be in my brother?
No.
Do it. Do it. I hope dudes from the bottom. I don't give a fuck.
Do you want to be in my brother? Euler Greg says, too much evidence and witnesses to dismiss, but we should logically have evidence by now, so perhaps it's something we don't understand. It's a slippery slope, because I don't want to be considered like a conspiracy theorist type of guy, but we definitely believe in almost all cryptids that come across our plate, except for some very, very silly ones from Cryptid Corner.
We do want to believe.
If they believe in it in Canada, we don't believe in it.
Oh, yeah. That's something you'll find out at the end of the show. But here in the now, we got to talk about something else, though. We got to delve into something a bit darker, a bit more harsh. We've been saying good stuff about this movie, but those are all bullshit, wrong. They're not correct at all. We are not qualified to really give accurate opinions about Boggy Creek 2: The Legend Continues. In order to find the truest form of reviews and commentary for this film, you got to go to Amazon, and you don't go to the 5 stars, the 4s, 3s, or the 2s. You go straight up to the Amazon 1-star reviews.
Brother.
Hated it.
Boom. Oh, groovy. No, we don't mean that. You know we love you, and we believe in syrup and hockey. So we're with you.
Oh.
No, it's just if you believe in it, we also don't.
Oh, if you believe in the cryptids.
So free healthcare, cryptids, you know,
my God,
social equality. We don't believe in that.
I wish we did.
all those things. Like, I would just move to Canada.
Yeah,
right
I want those.
Oh my gosh. Free healthcare,
yeah.
crypto, Canada, Canadian hockey, and maple syrup. Oh my God.
Boom. Is Bigfoot real? 88% of you say yes. I love
Remix
it.
says no.
I didn't vote in that poll.
Oh. Well.
Life is more interesting with unsolved mysteries. Absolutely. But Evil, you want to go ahead and kick off these Amazon 1-star reviews so we can hear what some of the assholes of the internet have to say?
They're not assholes. This is all true. From Shanda on September 5th, 2020. She says 1
Stars. Brother.
Not worth the watch / unrealistic. It wasn't as good as the first one. It's very fake, and the overall story was not well written. It had swear words in it. As we were surprised for being an old movie. Very generic and unrealistic. Seems like they tried to make it a good film, but failed.
They failed. We got Leaf King in the house. That's also somebody new, I believe.
I do like
they
Go Leafs.
said, I mean, if you want to be technical, the Earth is still so unexplored. The oceans, the forests, all over. Absolutely. Which is why we have a hard time saying definitively these things don't exist. And I don't think...
to believe.
Yeah. I don't think you'll catch me in my lifetime saying that I don't believe in some of these certain things. So I'll die on that hill, literally. But all right, Evil, let's move on.
Next is D. Wigington. D. Wigington. On August 6, 2021. He says 1
Stars. Brother.
Only 1
Stars.
because they didn't allow none. Absolutely the worst, the most boring, not to mention stupid movie I've ever bought. Wish I had my money back.
Daggum.
Caps, by the way.
That last reviewer said that there were swear words. I don't recall a lot of foul language in this film. It is a PG-13.
I mean, PG-13 does allow you 1 fuck, doesn't it?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see one. I mean, no. But
Shit. Literally, the new Batman movie has all kinds of stuff in it, including a fuck, and got away with the PG-13. So, Batman can do it. Why can't the Creek Monster?
I don't know. Maybe the PG-13 was for the half butt cheeks in the booty shorts.
No,
Who knows?
those are all legit and legal back then. Those are just shorts. Now, you know. But next up, is a very popular movie apparently in the last 2 years to review. Steven, on February 10th, 2020, he says 1
Stars.
Depicting true facts. Very poor everything.
That's it? That's the review?
Very poor everything. What else can you say after that?
I don't know.
That's a mic drop moment, and you're like, this is horrible. All
logging
over.
off. Yeah. We got VHS Mikey in the house, said late to the party, but I'm here. Cyber Skull Media with a $2 super chat says, I believe in a thing called love. That's not the rhythm of a heart. Who was that? The Darkness?
Yeah, I think it was someone from Canada, so I don't believe in it.
Cue Hulk Hogan jam. All right. Next on, we had Gary W. Crane on December 23rd, 2007. So nothing like Christmas time jingles going around to review Boggy Creek 2. So Gary W. Crane says 1
Stars.
Brother, I do not recommend this DVD to buy. If you want to see it, rent it. The original Legend of Boggy Creek is totally different from this movie. The original was pretty scary. A lot of the information is pretty accurate, I feel. 4 people found that helpful.
And that's all he had to say is, the first one was pretty good.
Yeah, like that first.
I think that's probably the general consensus with this film is this one's not, in my opinion, this one's not terrible. This one is, but it's a different flavor of popcorn, for sure. And I will say this, though. When I was watching it, it did make me go, man, remember when the first one did this better? I think I even Snapchatted you that earlier. Like, this is good, but it makes me miss the first one. It makes me want to watch the first one. I don't know.
I don't know. I like them. I think I had them both on the same tape. So,
well, yeah, that's how you do it, back to back.
Yeah, that's how you do it. But next we got Thomas Cavanaugh on October 18, 2015. He says 1
Stars.
Brother, don't buy. Bad.
That's it?
That's it.
Went all the way to Amazon, logged in, typed that, went home.
Next is Frank Gallagher, and I think I have Frank Gallagher's DVD copy of Boggy Creek. Not he's talking about part 2, but I think if he has the same opinion for part 1, I have his copy, I believe. But Frank Gallagher, December 29th, 2006, he says 1
Stars.
Brother, P-U. That is P, spelled like if I'm going P, and 4 U's. This is nothing but an old fart telling the story of the first movie. DVD makes a good coaster. So I
Nothing but an old fart.
Just an old fart. I guess he's referring to Charles Pierce as an old fart.
I don't feel like Charles Pierce is that old.
No, he's not in this movie, I don't believe. No one is old. Maybe it's because we're getting older. I don't know. We have a celebrity that has given us a 1-star review from this is big. This is from Charles Dickens.
All right.
On August 2nd, 2010, Charles Dickens wrote A Christmas Carol, watched Boggy Creek 2, and said 1
Stars.
Brother, thank God for Mystery Science Theater. What more can I say? MST just does it all. I don't think I could have watched this movie without him.
Which is funny that you bring that up. Right at the same time, Ben Grimm says, apparently, the Mystery Science Theater 3000 episode of this is great. I'm going to have to put it in my watch list.
I think I watched it once, but I don't remember anything about it. So I'll have
those guys, they don't ever really let me down. The only movie that they ever did that was like painful for me to watch was Manos, Hands of Fate. Because it's just not good in general. And even watching them riff it was not enjoyable. I mean, like, some of the jokes land really well, but I was just like, I hate this fucking movie.
I watched their Kingdom of the Spiders episode.
I bet that was fucking phenomenal.
Is great. I think it's on Prime, so you can totally watch that. And to round out the Amazonian 1 stars, we have. I'm going to insert this, but this is actually his name. Russian Brother. On October 3rd, 2007, Russian Brother says 1
Stars.
Brother. Stink-O-Rama. This is one of those movies where you invite your friends over to make jokes about each scene, just like Mystery Science Theater. In fact, I think this was one of the movies they roasted. You can find it on a pawn shop for $1, then get it otherwise. Not worth renting.
Damn. All right, then.
Damn.
A lot of
That is
ruthless
true.
motherfuckers out there this week, man.
For life.
Every week. That's just how they roll. But that is all our Amazon Uno Star reviews.
All right. Well, now that we're done with that, what does that mean, Evil?
Well, time to go back into more positive things. It's time to look at all the different poster arts that we could have found for this film. Foreign, domestic, whatever we can find. And we're going to determine one of two things looking at these different poster designs. Does this poster sell me on a movie? Make me want to pull out my wallet and give it all the money? Or is this something lost in this design? Did someone just not have enough time to make a decent looking poster, slapdash some shit together and throw it out there, and it is a complete and total mishap? Welcome to Money or Mishap. Let's look at some posters.
Boom.
Money, because it's pretty much the first poster with a baby foot.
Mhm. And this poster alone inspired my lighting scheme for today.
As mine to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
But I like this. This is cool. This just feels like nostalgic gone camping.
Yeah, it feels right, you know?
It just feels right.
This is 100% money. Not necessarily sold on the font, but
carved into a tree.
The actual art, good stuff.
Yeah.
Looks like Groovy Movie hit us with another $2 super chat. Says, "Can I get a rest in peace for hockey legend Guy Lafleur?"
A rest in Tuesday for Lafleur.
Rest in peace.
There you have it. This is 100% money. Ooh, damn, Tony Zulian with a mishap. Not digging it, huh?
Not digging the in Texarkana.
Oh no. I love this. There's something about the way that it's painted with the highlights on the fur with the sunset or sunrise.
Imagine two Bigfoots running away at dawn. Quick to the shadows.
Yes. Huzzah! Which is hilarious too. That's another thing I want to bring up about this movie is they say he's nocturnal. He only comes out at night, but 90% of these stories he's fucking sleuthing around in the day.
In the middle of the day, yeah. Razzing that dude in the shitter, middle of the day.
Yeah, I'm like, I thought you said this motherfucker likes to come out at night. So far, all these sequences have been in broad daylight.
It's almost like they made these things up.
Yeah. What is this? I don't think this movie's real.
And he's afraid of fire, because we all know Bigfoots are scared of fire.
Well, that's why he likes to swim. He likes the water, the cool agua.
Like a 7 foot tall, swimmer.
There's a Freddy vs. Jason joke in there somewhere.
I'm sure there is, for sure. Barkley, Sonals Barkley says that's money. Let's see, no other money or mishaps in the chat, but yeah, I absolutely love this again because it is actually handcrafted, painted.
I love the sun coming through the trees.
Oh, it's
like
so good.
The leaves. That list gives it a nice, like, morning vibe. And totally, when we would go camping on our RV during the later years, we would have a TV VCR that I would bring, and I would put it at the front of the camper. I'd be the first one up every day in the RV, and I would always bring this tape and put this shit on. And nothing like out camping on a campsite and watching the Boggy Creek movies.
Oh, for sure. And then after it's over, go on a little hike.
Yeah, like, all right, time to go out and find this fucker. We know he's out here.
Mm-hmm.
He's afraid of fire.
Video Store Review says, this poster is giving me Terrence Malick vibes. I don't know who Terrence Malick is. Is that an artist?
That name sounds familiar. I feel like we would know that. We should know that.
Yeah, we probably should.
I should know that.
Terrence Malick.
Terrence Malick.
Oh, I don't know.
Don't know no
Ken
snake.
Sagos. Yeah. Remix is over there investigating
we don't know
for us.
Terrence Malick? Yeah, we can't know everything.
Nah, that's true. All right, let's pull up another one. This is fucking god awful. This looks like a.
This looks like a tour guide book.
This looks like a made for sci-fi TV, like a really bad TV movie.
I honestly, when I saw this, when I was looking for posters, I saw this, and I was like, did they remake Boggy Creek 2, and this is the poster for that?
Yeah, this is weird. I'm not overly fond of this. It's so cold feeling compared to the original poster art, you know?
Yeah,
like
there's nothing cold. Like, what the fuck, is this filmed in Gotham City or something?
Yeah, no, like, everything in Texarkana, like, everybody is sweaty the whole time.
Yeah, the color tone is way off. Like, if we had a Boggy, which I'd be fine, we do a fucking
Turn
Boggy.
that orange remix. If you can.
What if we had a Boggy Creek movie in the wintertime? I'd be down for that.
That's, what is that? Snow Beast.
It's a good idea is what it is.
I think it's called Snow Beast.
Snow Beast. The legend continues.
Trying to get us some yellow. Zulian says mishap. O'Brien says mishap.
That's Leaf better.
Leaf
I
Kings
like
says mishap. Snarl says mishap. High Ground says mishap. Yeah, it's rough. It's definitely that blue that's throwing me off. Like, I feel like if it was hard, that's better, you know, but not much.
That looks like it's been washed out.
Sun bleached and shit, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any save in this one.
Terrence Malick, the director of Badlands. Check out the poster for Badlands.
I brought the Badlands poster up if you guys want to see it.
For sure. This looks like a flyer to like a shitty local band.
Yeah, the guys that made the Falcon Monster song. This is their flyer for their show that night. That's the best saving that could be done right there, but yeah.
$5 cover charge to come see the Falcon Monster live.
Over 1,000 have seen the legendary creature. 20 have had contact.
Some are still missing.
Where's that? There's no story about that. Who's gone missing?
That's the other thing too. Okay, so we always do a handful of things. We do a Gwildor Award, an Alfredo Award, our tie-in, which we reserve for the very end. But we also like to choose a My Kind of Death. And for this movie, since it's all mostly these stories where no one dies, there's really nothing.
Yeah, it's just, Bigfoot razzing folks kind of thing.
Yeah. See, that's not bad. No, that's a pretty sweet poster. That was good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Same kind of thing, except the sun is behind the motor vehicle.
Yeah, it's the sun rising.
Mm-hmm.
Like just rising.
Yeah.
It's up. The day has begun.
Video store review said this one is a mishap. Money if it's an 80s album cover. Yeah, it's weird. I don't like it. It's definitely a mishap for me.
Yep, it's lazy.
Yeah, it's pretty shitty. And there's no amount of color correcting or saving that poor remix can do.
I can't
save this.
That orange gives it a hair, but that is not enough hair to save the bug.
Bigfoot?
Nope. Not even a baby foot.
This is my DVD cover, and it looks more like a werewolf movie.
Yeah, this is a goddamn werewolf movie. This is not. No.
Yeah, it's real bad.
What the fuck's up with the G's?
They're two
Why
Gs.
are they lower? Yeah, why are they lower and capitalized G's?
Just to trip you out, man. Hey, Spence, let's trip out.
I mean, it is, but it's like, what the? The most feared inhabitant of the backwoods has returned with a vengeance. Better sometimes. More accurate.
Here's my problem with this movie title. This has always bothered me that "and" is a part of the title. Boggy Creek 2 and the legend continues. Wouldn't it just be easier to say Boggy Creek 2, the legend continues?
That's
and feels useless.
I've seen it 50-50. I've seen people like it listed as and just the. And I always thought it was just Boggy Creek 2, the legend Continues. That's how we even marked it on our dubbed VHS tape, was Boggy Creek 2 The Legend Continues, which also had an orange label strip on it too, so fitting that tone of the cover art.
Damn right.
Bit. Yeah, this is a werewolf movie with fucked up G's in it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it.
Truth or fiction, man or beast, in or out, over and under.
To be completely honest with you, when I bought this movie when I was wicked young, I actually bought both Boggy Creek films at a Pomida, and I knew the first movie because I grew up with my family telling me that it was real, you know. So, and I bought them both the same day because somehow, some way, this piece of shit Pomida store had both movies, and they were dirt cheap. They were like $3 or $5 a piece. And I found this second one, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? You know, I didn't even know there was a sequel. I'm like, how can there be a sequel? This is a documentary. Like, when I bought both of them together, I still, like, wholeheartedly believed that Boggy Creek 1 was a fucking documentary. You know, because I was a kid when I saw it, and I was maybe 14 when I bought these on DVD. And I remember telling my girlfriend at the time, like, oh man, you gotta watch Boggy Creek. Like, it's a documentary about Bigfoot. Yeah. So.
Shit's real.
Yeah.
I remember when we watched Boggy Creek. Like, I don't know if it was mom or dad, but one of them was like, yeah, there's a second one. We'll have to find it someday. And we rented it and had a copy of it done up. So we knew of it, but I don't know if anyone had seen it. But I remember watching the first one going, yeah, there's a Boggy Creek 2. We'll have to go find it. And I wish I remember what the cover for that looked like. I think it looked like the one that's actually coming up.
Okay.
Here soon. But this one's new, and yeah, completely. What the hell is this?
There's at least 4 different fonts on that cover. Yeah, no shit. It's way too many.
And more blue. There's no cool tones in the movie at all.
Looks like a Goosebumps cover, Mikey said. About fucking spot on.
Yeah, I turned that font green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is.
Boom, there it is. There's the cover of the Goosebumps book.
Absolutely.
Cat people-ish. Yeah, no
I
other
also
color.
like how man or beast isn't a question. That's awesome, yeah. Truth or fiction is a question, but man or beast is not.
No question.
Cat
it's one or the other.
And LOL. Yeah, and drives me nuts. It just makes no sense for that to be a part of.
This is just a big muscular guy. There's not even any fur on him. It's a hairless Bigfoot.
Weird.
Yeah, it's just a dude posing out in the woods. Brother!
Yeah. He's floating through the veins of the warriors. Yeah, no, this is a terrible cover. It really is. It doesn't depict what the movie is at all. No one's really said money or mishap, but I'm leaning towards everyone thinking this is a mishap as well.
Mishap, slapdash thrown together bullshit.
Although it was drawn, but it was a fucking werewolf.
Yeah.
Not a Bigfoot.
This is, I believe, the cover that was on the VHS that we had seen, and I like this. Even though it's
I love it, but it feels like it's a Beastie Boys music video, dude.
Sabotage!
Yeah. Looking down the barrel of a gun. Son of a gun. Son of a bitch. Getting paid. Getting rich.
This may be our first movie ever where we had different posters and each one had a different tagline on it. And this one, it's The Legend Too Monstrous to Die surfaces again.
Why, he looks like straight up like Fred Durst from the Dad Vibes video with this fucking revolver. It looks like they look like they're in a movie about heroin dealers, and then there's Bigfoot on the top. It's real fucking weird, but I love it. and it's a media release, which is super dope.
Absolutely it is. Media ain't no bullshit. And that's how the Bigfoot looks in this movie, although he has human eyes. There they kind of wash it out to look like, Savini zombie eyes, but he looks like human eyes, but that is how the face looks of Bigfoot in this film. And yeah, that gun sequence, that's where they're fucking hunting down the rabid dog.
Oh yeah.
Quiet.
We got a lot of mishap going on in there.
No, money, and you could change it to any color and I would still say it's money. I
do like this because it feels so fucking ridiculous that I would probably rent this. You know what I mean?
Now it's a Weekly World News cover again.
There it is. I love it. It's stupid. In black and white, you could get it as a fucking badass screen printed shirt.
Oh gosh, yes, that'd be a great idea. Why don't someone make that for us immediately? I need a Boggy
Atomic
Creek
Cotton,
2.
if you're listening, we want
Where's
this.
my Boggy Creek 2 shirt.
Yeah.
I want to wrap a dog on the back.
In high demand. At least you'll get at least 2 sales. Rob Zombie's Boggy Creek. This is hell. There it is. That's Rob Zombie's.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the Italian Boggy Creek right there.
Oh shit, a Giallo. Has there ever been a Giallo Bigfoot movie?
I don't think so.
I think we should make one.
The first time he's got like fucking leather gloves and wears a trench coat and a stupid hat.
I mean, that's a unique marketplace. I think we should work on that. We're gonna abandon Tape It 2 and make a Giallo Bigfoot film.
There are Italian Bigfoot films.
Oh what's Italian for Bigfoot? How do you say Bigfoot in Italian?
Lay Bigfoot. No.
I don't.
I think that'd be French.
I know. I'm just being.
I don't think this is actually Bigfoot. I'm saving this. Don't look, spoilers.
Let's see. I'm not gonna let the media logo sway me. No, dude, it looks like it's a media release, which immediately makes us happy because we grew up with that. But it really does feel like a weird, either like a drug movie or like a Beastie Boys video. I don't know what it is, man. It's got a weird vibe to it that if I saw this on the shelf, I would go, well, you gotta rent this, right? Like a fucking big ape animal and a dude with a revolver.
I love the font, and there's no The Legend Continues, just Boggy Creek 2, motherfucker.
Deal with it. That's the subtitle. Fucking deal
Boggy
with it.
Creek 2. Fucking try it. I dare you. Yeah, we did it.
The Australian Bigfoot is the Yowie. That's what I say when I stub my toe. Yowie.
Isn't that cartoon intercourse between two boyos?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's
Whoopi.
a boy?
A boyo's a person with a wiener.
Whoopi is cartoon lovemaking, right? I don't know. High Ground says money. I'm down with it. High Ground. You know what's up, man.
Yeah.
What's up?
Give me this VHS. Oh, would I flip my shit if I found a VHS copy of Boggy Creek 2?
I'm fucking just elbowing old ladies at the thrift shop for this motherfucker.
I'm remotely interested in it either.
There you go. The guy on the left is named Bigfoot.
What?
This is an Italian Bigfoot movie.
You mean it's not the small black child? That's not Bigfoot?
So is he killing these people with this alligator? What's happening?
Why is there an alligator in a river?
Why is there a river in the middle of the desert? Like
it's a mirage, dummy.
And he's wet. He's wet. Excuse me. Where'd the croc come from?
It's also a mirage. Or a maraca.
It's a maraca.
If you break all its bones, it becomes a maraca.
And fresh maracas here. Hold on.
Holy shit. Hold the phone. Robert Loggia's in this movie?
We need to see it. What is it called officially?
I don't know. Diego.
It's directed by Antonio Margheriti.
Margheriti.
Crocodiles in the River Nile. Is that what that movie's called? I'll fucking.
Why are we looking at this?
Because he said it was
Because I looked up Italian Bigfoot and that's what came up.
All right.
Okay. That answers the question.
Now, where were we? What were we doing? Was that the end of Money or Mishap?
But I think, there wasn't many. Not many.
Yeah, imagine that.
Not a lot.
No.
You can't even find out how much money this movie costs. Fucking.
But I do like that unique aspect. There's a different tagline on every fucking movie.
That's really aggressive. Like
weird.
Yeah. Like you don't just come up with one and stick to it.
Yeah, like they didn't even bother with one. They're like, it's Boggy Creek 2. You figure out the rest of it.
Well, now that we're done with Money or Mishap, what does that mean?
Well, it's time for Roger's favorite segment of Hour 2. We are double feature Death Guys. We are Drive-In Mutants. Drive-In Mutants are 2 movies, nothing less. So if you're gonna watch this, would be a good movie that tag team with it. Would be a good tie-in movie, if you will. So we're gonna give you our 2 cents on what would be a good follow-up film with Boggy Creek 2, segment we just call affectionately the tie-in.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Time up for life.
Boom. Okay.
Yeah.
I suppose I can go first this week.
Yeah, if you're feeling froggy, go ahead and jump, sir.
You feeling froggy? Jump.
Froggy Creek.
That movie's just called Frogs, and I own that on DVD and Blu-ray because I would. But okay, so for my tie-in, I was having kind of a hard time, like figuring out what I wanted to do.
I was worried this week. I was really worried.
Worried that we were gonna cross the streams.
Yeah.
I don't know, man, because
mine was instantaneous.
Oh, well, I'm curious to see what you have, because I thought long and hard about this, and I thought, you go the documentary route? Do you go the mockumentary route? Do you go the Bigfoot route? Do you go the trapped in the woods route? There's all these different weird routes that I could go, and I just wasn't feeling any of them. I was thinking, I felt like I was thinking too hard. And so I kind of took a step back and I said, well, what is it about this movie or Charles B. Pierce, specifically
Charles B. Pierce,
that I like, you know? And what I like about Charles B. Pierce is that he kind of has this grassroots approach to filmmaking. It's that old school mentality of, just because I don't have the money that Hollywood has doesn't mean I can't do this. And very like in my own backyard type of movie making to get it done. And that just kept making me think about another filmmaker who I absolutely love, who sort of does the same thing, or, you know, did the same thing before he passed away, which is Don Dohler. So I really started thinking about Don Dohler's filmography, and I just decided that I had to go with Night Beast for my tie-in, because Night Beast is one of those movies where Don Dohler had never really made a movie, and just kind of had this epiphany that, like, I'm over 30, kind of just spinning my wheels, and I want to make a movie before I die. I'd like to do something. I'd like to make a movie. And filmed this in his house, in his backyard, and, you know, got the local cops involved, got his kids involved, his wife involved, all his buddies, and just made this alien movie. So it's not a Bigfoot movie, but it is a monster movie where he utilized miniatures and matte paintings and a bunch of stuff like that. And it's just a very grassroots approach to no-budget filmmaking. And there's something very endearing about that, you know? It always just makes me happy. But it's not necessarily the best movie on the planet. You can see all the flaws and things like that, but it doesn't stop it from entertaining you and inspiring you. And I kind of lump... it's
heart story.
Yeah, and I lump Charles Pierce and Don Dohler in the same category. So that just had to be my tie-in. And I know you haven't seen that movie yet, so one of these days I'm going to bring it to you to blow your fucking mind. But it just had to be my tie-in.
Can you bring that poster back up for a hot second? Is this a fish-looking alien dude? Is he wearing like a
bathrobe?
Not a bathrobe, but like a
martial arts gi,
like a satin like nightshirt.
It's like rubber, or like a sauna suit, basically.
Oh, it looks like a rich person's like nightwear.
That's absolutely what I see.
Like the couple that's next door to the Griswolds in Christmas Vacation is wearing this.
This is because they didn't have enough money for a full creature suit. They had arms and a head and a chest.
Just picture that thing.
Sounds familiar.
Picture that thing rubbing up against you in the middle of the night.
I will tell you this, Evil. When you do see this movie, Vinegar Syndrome, re-put this out on Blu-ray, but the DVD releases and a lot of the poster art has a Troma logo on it, but Troma had nothing to do with this movie.
Why is your logo on it then?
Because Don Dohler needed distribution, so he sold it to Troma after he made it. But if you get it on Blu-ray, it doesn't have a Troma logo at the beginning of it. It has a Vinegar Syndrome logo. So there you go.
I know a Blu-ray copy of it then. Remix, go ahead and order that. Put it in the cart.
Go ahead and admit the Bigfoot's not real.
Ooh. Let's see. These other tie-ins. Strange Wilderness would be Cyber School Media's.
That's actually what the wife's suggestion was. She said Strange Wilderness where they shoot Bigfoot and then fake a suicide where he hung himself.
Ben Grimm said Iceman.
Oh, that's good.
Zulian said Wrong Turn 2. Joe Lynch for Life.
Wow.
Caveman with Ringo Starr. I don't know that.
I know.
Digging up
Caveman's goofy.
Digging Up the Marrow, says High Ground Cantina. Yeah. High Ground said, I love that creature design. Thank you. Yeah, not that I had anything to do with it, but yeah, I love that movie too. I love that motherfucker too.
Well, I'm shocked. I'm honestly shocked. I thought I would have heard my tie-in name dropped once at least already, and it
was name dropped once.
Was it? Did we miss it?
It was. It was name dropped during the stream.
Well, I guess then I missed it. But my tie-in is like, well, if we had a mockumentary for the first movie, and let's take the sequel where it goes a completely different direction and almost makes it a film. So my tie-in was an obvious one for me. I went with The Book of Shadows, The Blair Witch 2.
The franchise was brought up, not specifically the sequel, because nobody talks about the sequel.
The Secret of S. Rever Forever.
But it's not forever, because it's not even in the movie.
I love this movie, and I don't give a fuck what the world says.
But it's not in the movie. They took it out.
I like this movie too, and it's weird how it almost very parallels the Boggy Creek, because the first movie is straight up mockumentary style, presented as real, and then we get a sequel, later that is trying to be a movie and not at all like the first one was. I was like, that is really bizarre. I was like, I don't know how I can not go with Blair Witch 2 for my tie-in, because it seems just too perfect almost of a tie-in.
It's excellent. Movie. That is an excellent. And you know what? I didn't even think of that when I was going through all of my my choices, because I
literally described it too. You're like, well, what was I thinking? I was thinking documentary, mockumentary, trapped in the woods. I was like, you're just describing the Blair Witch franchise.
Damn, I really was. Video store review
right under your nose the whole time.
He asked me if Night Beast, is that the movie they're watching in Mandy? Yes, but I've only seen Mandy once. I'm not a great big fan of that movie, which I know get my horror card revoked, but I didn't really care for it.
I didn't care for it either, and I watched it on the last drive-in, and like, if they had any hope at all, it'd be there, and I still was like,
High Ground said that gothic chick is fire. Oh yeah, but the redhead,
cool.
The redhead who's dead in the closet also. What's up? Epic Adventures with a $10 super chat, so Evil has to take another shot down towards the tail end of the live stream, making my boy suffer. That's a really good tie-in, dude. I'm really impressed. I really like that.
That's
very
what
good.
I do around here.
I remember when that movie came out. I didn't see it in theaters, but I rented it when it hit home video. And I remember actually watching it with Anthony Pond, who played the Gravedigger in our movie. And he was not sold on it. I remember him very much not liking it. And I was like, are you kidding me? This is like actually kind of scary. Like a different type of scary. But it also had that like early 2000s, like let's put Marilyn Manson in the soundtrack. Let's, do a lot of the shaky, scary shit going on.
It had something, yeah, and not to promote another channel necessarily, but the Good Bad Flicks coverage of Blair Witch 2 really opened it up more to being like, yeah, there's a lot of layers deep to this. Definitely a future live stream to be sure on the channel. Now he looks like Leatherface up there. It looks like the newest Netflix Leatherface.
Sidebar. Before we end our live stream, I did want to bring up one very important historical fact to you and I, and to this channel in general. Today is the anniversary of the release of BrainScan. Not only is it the release, or the anniversary to the release of BrainScan, but
also
sidebar. 6 years ago today.
To this day,
Evil and his wife visited me and stayed the weekend here for the very first time. Now, we had known each other since 2013, 2014, but we hadn't
docked yet.
Yeah, we hadn't hey, you want to come hang out? So 6 years ago today, both of our fucking worlds changed. And it's a super important day to me. So I waited on that all show to bring it up because I didn't want to cry. I don't want to sound like a little bitch, but this dude on the other side of the screen is my absolute best friend, and it's been one hell of a fucking ride. I'll tell you that.
And that ride is nowhere near being done. It's just taking all different roads and avenues. But we got a few minutes left, and we promised we would look at it. So do we have some Patterson Gimlin footage to take a gander at?
You know how long ago I unqueued that fucker? Because you guys were like, oh, I guess we're just talking about Boggy Creek. We're not actually going to talk about Bigfoot. I got maps put up.
Bring up maps. We got time.
We ain't got no time.
Yes, we do. Bring it,
fucker.
We want to look at some.
If we didn't get any Amazon or Instagram posts, we're just gonna hang out in Patterson Gimlin land.
There it is, and this is smooth, slowed down, or not slowed down, but stabilized.
Yeah. Still, man, that's definitive Bigfoot footage. Is this right there? Which is weird. That in 2022, the camera technology we have, this is still the best we've got.
Yeah, and I mean, I know
the bottom of the screen the whole show.
You can fucking you can read all kinds of stuff about the Patterson Gimlin footage. The two guys had a falling out, and they like to
2-hour documentary just analyzing this footage with between what sex it is, how its feet are planted on the ground,
female,
how it's walking,
right?
They determined it was a female, but they were straight up even going with how the ground is on level with the feet and how he's not looking down at his feet, and just how the steps are taken. You gotta really dive in hardcore to go a 2-hour documentary on a less than a minute footage.
I'll pose you this question.
Let's hear it.
You guys are saying that Bigfoots are super cagey and that they're smart enough to avoid human contact and they know to bury their dead. That fucker looks right at the camera. Why does he not sprint away? I say he, it's a she. Why does she not run away? Why does she continue to lackadaisically walk across the fucking...
She doesn't feel threatened.
But she doesn't want to be seen. She knows that there's a problem. He's got a big thing. She doesn't know what that is. Could be fucking gat.
I don't necessarily believe they're fast runners or incredible.
But she doesn't make an attempt. She doesn't run. She's just I'm going to continue plodding along.
I see a
person. I'm going to keep walking.
I'd say much like the human species, if we have one that's a mass murderer, doesn't mean we're all mass murderers. So there's going to be asshole, dumbass Bigfoot amongst all the Bigfoots, and we always are going to happen to catch the dumbasses who just aren't clever enough to hide.
If you see a shark in the wild, you're not going to be like, is this a psycho shark or is it a good shark?
Well, I'm also going to say this. This is stabilized, right? So the real footage is pretty rocky because they were struggling to get their camera up. And I believe the point when she turns around and looks is when she has been alerted to their presence. She doesn't, and I feel like she doesn't see them. I feel like she hears them jostling, glances back, does not see them, and continues to move.
Well, then she should
Maybe she's old, so maybe she has cataracts. We don't know, motherfucker.
Same reason like there's footage out there of dudes rolling up on great white sharks in the ocean and touches them and lives to tell about it with his arm intact.
They used Steve-O as bait one time.
There was literally like an Inside Edition clip of a dude who was like selfie filming himself touching a great white shark. We're like, dude, great white shark, dude, this thing tried to eat Richard Dreyfuss, dude.
That dude got fucked up like the dude who kept bothering Mike Tyson on that airplane.
No, live to tell, still has all his digits. Still, it's just weird.
All right, this is Seattle, Washington.
All right.
This is the start of the I-5. The I-5 comes from over here, goes a bit south, and it follows this way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here it is with Bigfoot sightings over top of it.
Holy fuck.
Just kind of scattered all throughout. Some of them following the I-5, some of them not.
That's impressive. Very impressive.
If we take the map out and just leave the thing up, it says drive.
Yeah. Wow, that's a lot of Bigfoot sightings. Oddly, not a lot right down there through the middle.
Yeah, where this is taking place, like right up the middle, seems to be nothing.
Actually, it takes place right here, and it kind of surrounds the entire area.
Ben Grimm said bears would also walk like that. I just have a hard time believing that is a bear.
I had a map brought up, and I'll bring up the red arrow.
Wow, I really have a hard time believing about Bigfoots in Florida. That I think really is just like that wild man.
Video store review said if this were fake though, it'd probably make it more exciting to watch. The fact that it just walks so normally is something I doubt anyone faking it would choose.
So I'm gonna interrupt you. Bears live all throughout here.
Okay.
All throughout here. Sparsely throughout these little areas. There shouldn't really be any bears here. Of ones that wander, and there are absolutely none here. There are absolutely no bears here. There shouldn't be many bears here, but there are absolutely bears here, few through here, and here.
I would never believe a cryptid of a Bigfoot in Florida.
That's where I got the term skunk ape. Skunk ape comes from Florida.
Maybe like a offshoot, but not like a big traditional Bigfoot, I would imagine, and I can't picture in Florida. But like, right. Yeah, a skunk ape, yeah, like the hobo Bigfoot, sure, maybe I can go with that being in Florida.
Yeah, the Michael Myers from Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, he's in Florida.
Nah, like the Bigfoot that's wearing like a dirty, like tan trench coat with like
Rob Zombie's Michael Myers.
Bottle of vodka.
These are your activity maps, and these activity maps, if you get rid of all those dots, do perfectly line up with bears.
I got P&W. I got the market cornered on the squatching. So that's where we need
stuff in Iowa.
We need to just head on up.
Stuff? I don't know what you're talking about. Not much.
We need a road trip up to the P&W and just do our own Bigfoot investigation. Bring our own equipment from the local college. Put a 200-pound limit on the circumference of our base, and just see what happens.
So what's Sasquatch? That's the question.
Who is Sasquatch? And maybe why is Sasquatch?
It's just one of those mysteries that'll forever go unsolved.
Brother! We'll never know. Otherwise, I'm still in the camp of being like, yeah, whoa, what's this map? Why is it brown?
These are different types of bears.
All right.
And I'll bring up the arrow again. If I can find it. Below it. So this area, there was absolutely no Bigfoot sightings, which there's no bears there. Right here, around Texarkana, there's very little. Comes around the side, which we saw on the Bigfoot map. Used sporadically throughout here, and then all up here. So shouldn't be very many bears here, and there are absolutely none here. which matches up perfectly with the Bigfoot map.
So what's the brown color mean? Is that just plentiful of bear? Like it's so
Black
much
bear
bear
and grizzly bear.
And grizzly bears.
Ah, okay. Now I see. We're color coding. Okay. Man, you think that's what people are confusing all these cryptids up in Canada for? Or just a shitload of bears?
I do have Canada queued up separately.
Separately? Jesus.
There are also all the states that voted for Nixon in 72. I am not a crook. Wait a minute. All right.
What over 92 years? Whoa.
Sasquatch
I wonder if we have
sightings.
man, do we have any has there anyone that's seen them this year? Has people have spotted Bigfoots this year?
I believe so, but this map only goes to 2013. There's not much by way of Squatch sightings in the Great White North.
Interesting.
Evil has a book that would beg to differ.
I mean, they're not saying they're bears in my book.
No, not bears.
There's something much more sinister.
Sinister. Did you say sinister as well?
I did.
You can see right in the middle, the Patterson-Gimlin footage is released, and there's barely an effect, but there is definitely an effect.
Between the 70s and 80s, though, when we had the movie first drop and the sequel come out, that's when we got good rumblings. I don't know why the weird spike in 2000 and beyond there. Like, wonder what caused that? What in the world caused us to get
Animal Planet.
Internet access.
watch fever?
Fucking, there's all those reality shows about hunting Bigfoot.
Man, and
Spikes a lot of interest, you know?
Always say what a sales pitch that is. They're like, we're going to propose a TV show where we'll never have an ending.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, man.
Never be a series season finale. It's just to me the same. It's literally Wilderness LARPers season 3.
There was that shit in like 2007, 2008 where those guys claimed they had that corpse of Bigfoot and they had it in a deep freeze. And then they took the money for it, and then while it was thawing out, they fucking skied out. And then it was just a fucking gorilla suit filled with like deer guts.
Deer meat and shit, yeah. Just sell it to a sideshow or something.
Yep.
Oh, we got one on here. Oh, Patterson-Gimlin just went.
Boom, went away. All right, we're down to the tail end of the live stream, so I suppose we could pull up Instagram after you do this little comparison you're doing.
No, I'll do Instagram because that'll be easier.
And we'll see what Bigfoot memorabilia or Boggy Creek stuff you guys have.
All right, while that's being pulled up, I'll quickly note side bit that I will be unavailable for next week. So we are going to postpone having a show next Friday. It's also, ironically, the Last Drive-In Season 4 begins. So instead of watching us for a week, just go check out the Last Drive-In season premiere. And we'll be back in the month of May with all new live stream stuffs. Maybe we'll find some more cryptid type cinemas to dive into. Always seems to be popular with us and with people watching. Check out cryptid, we want to believe cinemas.
Absolutely.
Heavy metal. Nothing to do with what we're talking about, but cool nonetheless.
Dude, the fucking soundtrack on vinyl, that's pretty baller. Not gonna lie. I saw that movie way too young. Just saying.
I've never got around to it.
Woo! We should do it. Pretty fun.
Caged Combat.
Oh yeah, that was from last week. Some Mac and me. A lot of tapehead love going on in here. Wait, these are my posts.
So nobody's doing any on Instagram for us. I see how it is.
Hey,
oh no,
was that new stuff?
No, that's all old stuff.
Oh, that's all old stuff. I'll still look at it.
March 11.
Just like yesterday, Terror in the Isles. The Blood Harvest.
Little Tiny Tim action.
Clue the VCR mystery game. I got the Nightmare VHS game over here on top of Leatherface.
Should we play it? We should play it.
That's its own live stream. We'll just play that game. We'll have the TV in the background showing it. Yeah. Yes.
Bat Boy for life. Yeah, we covered.
That was last.
We covered that stuff last week.
Back to this map.
Yeah, so let's take a quick gander. Remix is gonna cross them over and take a little look here. Hard to see.
Just match up the flirtas.
Squirms.
Voila.
Yep.
Yeah, the bear sightings almost perfectly match up.
There's a lot of sightings in the ocean, man. No, I'm just kidding.
Bear sightings.
I'm just fucking with you. Well, that we learned. Bigfoot's aquatic.
You know, I still want to believe, but you really can't argue a whole lot with
that type of evidence.
Yeah, that's really kind of throwing things in there. It's like, yeah.
My first thought when I saw this map, I was like, what's bear population like?
That's pretty compelling. But
I think, yeah, I'm gonna say that probably does cover 90% of all these supposed sightings of someone seeing something really quick or really in thick brush. But we will cling to that 10%.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to, right? Like,
hard to explain shit. It's like, well, that's clearly not. It can't be, even though all this stuff would point to it being logistically that. But I mean,
well, it's the same thing with UFO sightings, right? Like, of course, there's going to be tons and tons and tons of crackpots, but then there are legitimate stories or legitimate photographs that you see and you go, okay, explain that, and you can't. So,
just like your own UFO story you guys had filming Tapehead last year.
Yeah, that had to have been a UFO. Like, I am 100% convinced. And even the skeptic was like, there's nothing flying right now.
Yeah, I've got all sorts of bullshit going on. I know about my flight radars.
Yeah.
Flight radar 24 is on my phone 24/7.
Yeah, so I mean, he was like, there's nothing in the air right now, so that makes no sense. And then it went phew, away. And Mikey was with us, so Mikey knows. Like, and he got to be, he seen it. He was with us firsthand to the madness. It's not like we could have planned that or, faked that. So, let's see. There are also all the places JFK was shot. Yeah, they just dragged his body around and let people take pot shots at him.
They did that with Lincoln.
What?
Yeah. They paraded Lincoln's corpse all across the United States.
To let
people fuck with
shoot
it.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm not joking. They paraded Lincoln's corpse across the United States so that way people could touch it and see it.
That sounds like the most made up shit
you motherfuckers
I've ever fucking heard. That can't be real.
This is the head of Abraham Lincoln. You want to touch it?
It's got way too much skull.
He kept getting all sweaty and gross, so they had to keep re-embalming.
Is this for real?
For fucking real.
It sounds bullshitty.
They paraded Lincoln's dead ass all the way across the United States.
Dude, when he got to his final destination, he looked like a piece of fucking Jack Link's beef jerky. What the fuck, dude? On that note, it's past fucking 10 o'clock. Can we go home?
Well, we can, but we'll have to be right back.
All right, we'll be right back.
At 14, I decided to start renting every horror film on video.
Because the 1990s gave way to the straight-to-video star.
Holy shit! This chick is crazy!
How could you not love that?
It's where the action was.
So I had to write it in 4 days.
I think that was 5 weekends.
And the guy said, come here, show me what you got.
That's how things went down really fast.
But in a way, for me, that just made it so much fun.
I had a blast making it.
Love it. I love it.
Let's really chop the rest of the heads off. Come on, it's the best one.
And there's a lot of inventive camera work.
These are all movies that combine genres.
And there was no one to tell you that you couldn't do something.
They were almost invariably going direct to video.
Limited to my hometown, I think. No, that's the one place it didn't play.
They're not anywhere. Nobody saw that.
Apparently their listings
constantly confuse the Michael Keaton family film by the same title.
But there's nothing better than sitting there at 3 a.m. in your underwear, smoking a joint, scoring a film.
Well, I stand corrected.
The History Channel. Believe it.
Aliens.
Well, we're not here to talk about American history. We're here to talk about some history up in the Great White North of Canada. It's time for Canada's Cryptid Corner.
I was in the nom, pussy fart.
Oh my god.
All right, well, we're done with the Bigfoot and Texarkana. Time to head up north. Talk about a cryptid up in the Canadas. So we're going to reach back into our ever faithful Unnatural Order of the Three-Eyed Skulls field guide to cryptids, creatures, creeps, demons, horrors, haunts, haints, hags, ghosts, monsters, mutants, and madmen. Volume 1 of a 3-volume series, all available on Amazon.com. So, tonight, we're going to talk about...
play. Sorry.
We talk about the bird goat, Akamaski.
You gotta fucking restart.
Did you say a bird goat?
You can't just say we're gonna talk about the bird goat.
Wow. You gotta fucking ease me into that one.
We are talking... I got the easy one. You should be... We are 78 pages into this book. If you are not prepared by now, I don't know what will.
You just walked into my house and said, we're talking about the bird goat.
We're talking about the bird goat of Akamaski.
Akamaski. We got Groovy Movie in the house. Have you ever been to Akamaski, and do you know about the bird goat? We have our resident...
It is Akamaski or Akimaski, Ontario, Canada is the location. The date is 1966 to the present. The bird goat is still out there. Visual aid, if you will.
What the fuck?
Brother.
This looks nothing like a bird or a goat.
Ever since the natural light was seen on the Akamaski Island, people have said to have seen something attacking the birds within the grounds of the Akamaski Bird Sanctuary. They also say the electronics fail. Compasses seem to point directly at the creature. Watches run backward if they get close to either the creature or the remains of the things it has fed upon. Welcome to the bird goat of Akamaski.
What the fuck?
I eat the birds.
He's a bird eater.
Welcome to the bird goat.
Groovy wants a spelling of Akamaski.
Akimiski. Akamaski, Ontario. Or Akimiski. Akimiski.
Is it Ips?
It's an island.
Kapisking?
Yeah,
I can't even fucking say that word.
Akimiski Island.
Oh.
Where there's a bird sanctuary that's been just razzed by the bird goat. And apparently your watches run backwards when you get too close to this thing, or the birds it's fed upon.
The geese were rude and quite vulgar. However, other birds seemed more civilized. The jam sandwiches here are spectacular, says Imad Malik a year ago.
Wow.
That's a Google review, not a
Can you tell me how to make a jam sandwich?
No, because the geese are too rude and vulgar. What? How could a goose be vulgar? It is fuck. Coffee was pretty good, but on the cold side.
I don't know, but does that spelling is it Kappa Cas? No. Akimiski. Try to Search that. Go ahead, Remix, if you want.
He did.
I already did. That's how I found the reviews.
Yeah, he found it. It's a place.
But have we found anything on the bird goat?
Well, it doesn't kill the geese.
Are they in this? Well, if they're not in the sanctuary, apparently they're not appeasing.
I need to know about the Akamaski fucking bird goat.
I'm more concerned about the 1-star reviews.
Jam's all right. Jam done did me good.
And do you know how to make a jam sandwich?
There's not a goddamn thing about this bird goat. Vagrant Canadian geese in steaks speak out French.
I beg to differ. I have a book right in my
There's not a single fucking thing. Let me remove the word island.
That's the artist rendition in the book.
There we go. The bird goat right there.
I'm getting pictures of geese. I looked up bird goats, and there's still just pictures of birds.
Akamaski bird goat.
Nope, I already looked that up.
It exists. It's real right there.
No.
It's in a book, but it's not on the internet. Books, I believe, and
not
I
everything
don't
that's print is in the interwebs. Print may be dead, but it's still out there, man.
Textbooks.
So it's yes, textbooks. So you can't argue that right there. It's a thing. Bird goats are real. Can't argue science.
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Brother. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Brother.
Science rules.
Brother. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Brother.
Inertia is a property of matter.
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Brother.
I hate this place. I'm gonna go for it.
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Brother.
I've been the purple Norman Bates since 1998. Sick of all the hate, I'm about to kill them all today. I'm a hip-hop fusion with screws that are loosen, genre abusing, vomit on blueprints. You couldn't box me in a coffin. Locked in, I'm the monster from the trioxin toxin. Don't forget it, I'm a sick, twisted idiot, killing off little kids, say I'm out revision it. Get it, bitch, I'm a Camp Crystal Lake type. Waiting late night, get you with a steak knife. Verbal monster, yeah, you know the rest of it. Crash your slumber party, make a mess of it. I'm on some driller killer maniac kill shit. Duct tape, shovels, drill bits. Say I'm not hip-hop and it's a feud. I'm in a troll 2 mood and you bitches are booed. You don't want it with me because I'm coming and I will not stop until you all are running. I'm bringing the pain, stomping out brains, killing these lanes. Cause I'm a monster. I am the man with the visions of death, the bringer of stress, the killer of flesh, the illest and yes, I'm filling requests. So tell me who's next. Cause I'm a monster. Yeah, they live. Roddy Piper wasn't lying. I'm about to get violent. So much being silent. I'm a proper blend of attitude and essence, letting out aggression with my vocals as a weapon. So much cookie cutter crap that these kids are calling rap. I just sit back and laugh while they call me an ass. And I'm supposed to just take it, watch you fake it like you're so amazing. I'm the slaughterer, known as the monster that's coming for all of you. Pray to your father. Cause I'm sick of all the lame rhymes. I'd kill 99% of you with one line. One lawnmower strapped to my chest plate. Now that's the best way to leave a mess of dead weight. And so it's said I'm the Voorhees of the rap game. Overstay my welcome, but still leaving cats slain. You don't want it with me because I'm coming and I will not stop until you all are running. I'm bringing the pain, stomping out brains, killing these lanes. Cause I'm